I would tell them that it wasn't the Khmer Rouge or the DK that killed our own people. It was the enemy, the country that was our enemy. Allow me not to mention the name of the country and not to destroy the alliance of the friendship.
But, Your Honors, in contrast to this claim in this video, where Nunchia says those that died during DK weren't killed by the regime, they were not killed by the Khmer Rouge, but by, clearly he's referring to Vietnam. This is what he said to Tet Sambat. If we look at Behind the Killing Fields, E3 4202, at page 103 in Khmer, ERN 00858-337, and in French at 00849-434. There, they say, Nunchia does not deny that these party members were killed in purges ordered by the leadership, and reiterates that they were traitors and needed to be smashed. In fact, quote, most of the leaders of the center were on Vietnam's puppet strings. So we have the earlier clip where Nunchia blames the killings on the Vietnamese, and then in a second interview he says those that were killed were those under the influence and on the strings of Vietnam. Contradictory statements. Now, Nunchia's claim that those who killed were under the influence of Vietnam and doing their bidding, in regards to that claim, we direct Your Honors to E3/9644. This is a article by Mosyakov in which he's looked through Soviet-era archives and diplomatic cables. The particular passage I want to refer you to in Khmer is at 011-20075. In English at 010-85974, and on to the next page. And in French at 011-25304. Here, Mosyakov relates something he's learned from these cables. Pol Pot introduced Nunchia, a person trusted in Hanoi, whom Le Duan, leader of the Vietnamese communists, in a conversation with the Soviet ambassador, called a politician of, quote, pro-Vietnam orientation, unquote, as the occupant of the second most important post in the party. Speaking of Nunchia, Le Duan, again, he's the leader of the party in Vietnam, literally emphasized, quote, he is our man indeed and my personal friend, unquote. So this is a record, the footnotes indicate, of the conversation of the Soviet ambassador with Le Duan on November 16, 1976. So while Nunchia, in the second quote, was saying that those killed were those that doing the bidding of Vietnam, Vietnam thought he was the person doing their bidding. I'd ask now to play clip number 6.
President, AV unit, please show the video. Our policy was to re-educate them to stop. Number 2, we gave them 2 or 3 warnings to stop their treacherous activities. Next, we required them to present their revolutionary personal history and make a self-criticism. If that did not work, they would be expelled from the party. And if they still could not be corrected, they had to be solved. These people were categorized as criminals. Question: what did you do to those criminals? Answer: they were killed and destroyed. And if we had them let them leave, the party line would have been hijacked. they were enemies of the people.
When Mr. Nunchia told me about all these problems, and then I had everything in my hand.
What did you think of Pol Pot's decision to kill all the traitors? At the time, I agreed. I just wanted to get the problem solved. It was the correct solution.
A further admission appears in the book that Tet Sambat co-authored at page 105, in Khmer at 00858340, and in French at 00849-435, and the next page. There it reads, Nunchia said he was not particularly disturbed when his former comrades and friends were executed. Quote, the party decided to kill them because they were betraying the party and the nation. I was not scared or sad when they were killed. They had done wrong and betrayed us, so they received the kind of treatment they deserve, period. End of quote. Again, Your Honors, we have the list of those killed just at S-21, one of about 200 security centers. OCIJ has recorded over 15,000 names. And one thing we would direct your attention to on that list, E393.1, is that one of the largest sources of prisoners was the S-21 unit itself. 541 of those names listed on the OCIJ list are listed as linked that they were S-21 cadres. Could we please play clip 7?
President, AV unit, please show clip number 7. Question, why did it take you almost 3 years before you started to talk to me about the inside story of the killings? Nunchia, I had to be very careful about what I say. But with Tet Sambat, I talked to you step by step. I did not do it without thinking, because it's about my future.
Interview very secretly because I'm worried that somebody can confiscate all my tape. This is very important for the history, the facts from the top Khmer leader that we call brother number 2, Nunchia.
You were saying you talked to Pol Pot about sweeping our traitors. We had to solve the traitor problem in the way that we did, so it did not get out of control. And in fact, the innocent people lower down. So if we dare to conclude our decision was correct, and if we had shown mercy to these people, the nation would have been lost.
With the killing like this, Pol Pot, he never said this kind of stuff.
That we could find out, and then we know the history. It was often like looking for a needle in the sea. We did not arrest people randomly. People did not know about that. Pol Pot and I did not know about that. But there were so many of them bringing the problems in. We heard about the killings of people. When did you start to learn about that fact? It's difficult for me to say because it happened a long time ago. We had to do our work. We did not take note of the time.
Your Honors, in the Behind the Killing Fields book at Khmer 00858-309 and the next page, French 00849-415, and on page 84 in English, it's stated that Nunchea does not apologize for S-21, even though his niece and others close to him were sent there. He often stated that the enemies responsible for killing people in the countryside had to be smashed. Others were conspiring to overthrow Pol Pot and had to be stopped. But for every person they killed, they found out through the traitors' confessions obtained at S-21 that there were more enemies. Could we play clip 8, please?
President, AV unit, please show clip number 8.
A confession from a Khmer Rouge officer named Neem Sim included a note from his interrogator. It describes torturing a prisoner until he confessed that he was involved in the CIA. It was passed to Nunchea. I have a document here. It's the confession of the Central Zone Division 174 Commander, Neem Sim. And it includes a note with this written on the top, one copy to Brother Noon.
Okay. No, I never had such a report.
It's got written on it there, a copy to Brother Noon.
Oh, I don't know who wrote it. What? They sent a report? I don't know of this. I've never seen it. Sometimes they wrote that, but I've never seen it.
You never saw it? Here's another document. It's the confession of Kung Keen. And this document talks of many cadres being killed in S-21. And a note in the corner of it says that it was presented to Brother Noon personally.
I don't know this. These documents could be forged.
Your Honor, this claim by Nunchea that he didn't see confessions, they weren't brought to him, is contradicted in this very next clip. Can we play clip 9, please?
President, AV unit, please show clip number 9. You always read the confessions of S-21, so you could use them for educational purposes. Could you clarify it? How did you read them, and how did you use them to educate your cadres? Answer: I did not read all the documents because there were so many of them. It wasn't my duty to read them all. I just highlighted some of the enemy's dangerous tricks to warn our junior cadres. The enemy led our cadres astray from the party's principle, offering sick wine and the trappings of power. Debauchery, alcoholism, and gambling are the ruin of the society. You may not be gambling yourself, but your wife might be. So I used the confession to show our cadres how the enemy was undermining us with materialism.
Thank you. We draw your attention also to a couple additional quotes from Behind the Killing Fields. E3/4202, which demonstrate Nunchea having knowledge of why people were arrested by the leadership, why they were killed. On page 111, Nunchea said matter-of-factly that Duan was killed because he was Khoitun string. On page 115, according to reports Nunchea received, which meant confessions extracted from S-21, Sao Pim was selling rice to Vietnam without asking the center if he could do so. There's a whole chapter on enemies where Nunchea goes into details about why he says various of the top leaders were killed. And very interesting admission by Nunchea, which corroborates the testimony of Duik, which has been challenged by the defense here in trial. On page 85 of the book, in Khmer, the ERN is 00858-310, and in French, 00849-416. Again, behind the killing fields, page 85. For the first half of Khmer Rouge rule, Nunchea didn't have direct control over S-21. But as one of the top leaders of the movement, he was involved in decisions to purge top cadres. And when Khmer Rouge Defense Minister Sun Sen was dispatched to take care of border conflicts with Vietnam and growing tension with the Eastern Zone, in the fall of 1977, Nunchea became the de facto head of the interrogation center, according to brother number 2 and testimony from Duik in the spring of 2009. So here, Tet Sambat and Gina Chow confirm that Nunchea corroborated to them what Duik has said, that when Sun Sen went to the battlefield, Nunchea took direct control of S-21 after previously playing an important role in the decision to purge top cadre. And going back to some of the lists of executions, I'd just like to note something from E3/8463, which is a long list of people executed. And given this admission from Nunchea that he took direct control in the fall of 1977, which Gina Chow was American, so that means in the fall is September through November, approximately. I think it's interesting to look at specific days in 1978 where over 100 prisoners were executed. So we've just noted a few of those, all contained for now in E3/8463. On the 14th of February 1978, 104 prisoners were executed. It's only in Khmer, and the ERN is 000-16147 on to page 50. I'm only going to read the Khmer ERN's, the last 4 digits for the rest of these to save time. It's all in the same series. On the 16th of February 1978, 210 prisoners were executed. That can be found at the Khmer ERN that ends 6153. On the 10th of March 1978, 162 prisoners were executed. 6224 is the Khmer ERN. On the 13th of March 1978, 121, ERN 6161. On the 25th of March, 111, ERN ending 6248. On the 1st of April 78, 108 prisoners executed, ERN ending 6165. On the 11th of April 1978, 110 prisoners executed, ERN ending 6105. On the 29th of April 1978, 230 prisoners executed, 6123. On the 5th of May 1978, 167 human beings executed, ERN ending 6184. On the 11th of May, 1978, 255 prisoners executed, ERN ending 6199. And between the 27th and the 28th of May, 1978, 582 human beings were executed at S21. The ERNs are ending in Khmer 6039 to 74, and there is an English translation of this list. It's at 010325008 to 36. There is another surviving list, E3/10455, that indicates that on the 31st of December, the last day of the year in 1978, after Vietnamese troops had already entered Cambodia, 225 prisoners were executed. All of these in 1978, when according to Doik and according to what Nuon Chea told Tet Sambat, he was in direct control of S21. Why all these people killed? We direct your attention to E3/196, which is a talk that Nuon Chea gave to a Danish delegation, and later it was published by DK authorities. In Khmer, the ERN is 00224475, and in English 00762401. He told the Danes, quote, "The leadership apparatus must be defended at any price. If we lose members but retain the leadership, we can continue to win victories. Defending the leadership of the party is strategic. As long as the leadership is there, the party will not die. There can be no comparison between losing 2 to 3 leading cadre and 200 to 300 members. Rather the latter than the former." So what we see is that Nuon Chea and the leadership were concerned with their own preservation, and better to kill hundreds of others, cadre, so long as they would be safe. I'd like to end my presentation just with Nuon Chea's own words in clip number 10, if that could be played. Thank you.
President AV unit, please show clip number 7, said the President.
It's labeled 10. I may have said 7. The last clip, 10.
President AV unit, please show clip number 10. If those individuals had been left alive, we would have lost our country and our people. We would have no Cambodia today if we had kept them. We have sentiments for both the nation and the individuals, but I will always put the needs of the nation before those of the individual. And individuals' needs can be met later. But if the individuals became a problem, then we must be solved. Question, are you sorry for those who were killed? Answer, I have no regrets.
Thank you. That finishes my presentation.
President, thank you very much, Mr. Co-Prosecutor. And now the floor is given to the lead co-lawyers for civil parties to present the key documents. You may proceed, counsel. Good afternoon, Mr. President, Your Honors, everyone in and around the courtroom, and also civil parties. I have documents from 11 civil parties to present to the chamber during the key documents hearing today. First, civil party concerns All Consign Security Center, Mr. Siu Liam. Mr. Siu Liam is a civil party. In 1977, he was forced to become a soldier to attack the Vietnamese. His colleagues died, 60 of them died, and only him survived and became handicapped later on. And he was also forced to fight the Vietnamese. Although he was in bad health, he rejected at the time, and as a result, he was arrested. In document E3/6004, I would like to quote what he said. Quote, in July 1978, there were 30 Khmer Rouge who came to take me and tied me up, and I was carried and then placed in Bang Kansai prison in Balong Ratnagiri. I was accused that I failed to go and attack the Vietnamese. During the interrogations, I was electrocuted and I became fainted. I was interrogated once in every 2 or 3 days, and then it came the day that I was taken to be killed. On that day, the Khmer Rouge wanted to kill all the detainees because the Vietnamese had entered into the country, into Cambodia. On 6 January 1979, that was the day that hundreds of people or detainees were to be killed. And I was the last one on the list to be killed. My time, they wanted to kill me at around 6 p.m. In the evening on that day. However, I was fortunate. It was fortunate for me at the time. I became fainted. Seeing that, Khmer Rouge threw me onto the piles of bodies, and I lied on those corpses. And later on, one day later, I became conscious, and I sat on the piles of corpses. I then walked away, but I did not know where I was going. After walking 50 meters away from the corpse, I stopped and relaxed. I was thinking how to survive, how to find food and water to drink. I was sleeping and moaning because of the pain in my neck and in my earlobe. The EIN of that document is 0049 6478. English 010 66 675 through 76, and French 01 14 25 40. The second civil party, the second document of the civil party that I would like to present is the civil party concerns Phnom Kra Security Center in Kanye District, Mandalgiri Province. This civil party is female, and her name is Om Mon. She is now deceased. In her victim form, document A3/4927, with ERN 00545992 through 00545993, Khmer ERN said the lawyer for civil party 01060162, and French is 00940149 through 50. This civil party states in the relevant part of the victim form that she and her husband were sent from Takao to protest to join the military training, and then they were further sent to Koh Nhai district. I would like to quote as follows.
One evening after I arrived in Koh Nhai, they assigned me to Koh Rumjul as a member of the women unit of the division commanded by Ta Soi and Ta Chen. That division was tasked with defending the border to stop the Vietnamese troops from crossing into Cambodia. The unit consisted of approximately 40 to 60 people with 10 guns. Superior was the sector secretary. He was based in Koh Nhai district. Later on, Ta Soi and Ta Chen were mistreated, and I had to be transferred to Sector 105 and made to work in Office K11 located in Koh Nhai district. The superior was in charge of the district. Then they forced me to marry a man of no ethnicity. They forced me 3 times to get married, but I refused each time. Afterwards, they had me marry a Khmer man named Thain from Takao province, where I was from. After the marriage, they had my husband construct houses and arrange a storehouse because he knew how to build houses. 3 months after the marriage, I was pregnant and suffered morning sickness. The sickness was severe and that I was unable to do anything. They then sent me to the district hospital. At the time, there were people who got jealous with my husband because they saw him being good at work. His superior sympathized with him and dropped me a bag of clothes through the window for me to use while being hospitalized. Then, due to my morning sickness, I got outside and picked up a jambok fruit. I ate it with other 4 pregnant women who also had morning sickness. They were Kon, Lai, and other 2 Phnom women whose names I do not remember. They were afterwards taken to be killed during late pregnancy. Cam, the younger brother of Superior, came to accuse us of gathering to run away. He also accused us of defecting to the CIA and the KGB. They called all of us to a meeting for questioning. Cam asked me if we were about to go and join the CIA and the KGB. He kept asking me the same question, and I gave the same response. And it lasted for 3 days. Then he stopped asking me. Later on, I was taken to be imprisoned at Office K11. In the prison, about 20 prisoners stayed with me and had their legs tied to the wooden shackles, each of which could hold 5 prisoners. Approximately once every 2 weeks, newcomers arrived and mistreatment worsened. The shackles on their legs were tightened. It was my understanding that Tavon was also a cadre in control of the prison of Office K11, and I do not know if he is still alive or dead at the present time. Later on, many other female prisoners came to stay with me. They had been arrested from Piamchimit village, Nong Kilik, and other areas in Mondulkiri province, for they had been accused of being the CIA, the KGB agents, or being in the traitorous network. Male prisoners were held in the prison of Phnom Kraul. It was close to the area of Phnom Kraul in the south. I am not sure if the Phnom Kraul prison also housed female prisoners. She also went on to say that prisoners were tied and shackled day and night, and they were not given food to eat, and there was no medical treatment provided. In the morning, they had to be walked to work. After the shackles were removed, however, they were under constant armed guards. I felt ashamed because I was being tied and worked, and the work involves transplanting rice seedlings. One day, when it was raining, while I was carrying rice seedlings, I fell into the rice field, and as a result, I lost my baby. There was blood everywhere, and then I was walked back to the prison. I asked for a cup of wine from Sophie in order to drink, and I was never taken to be treated at any hospital. I lived in a miserable condition, and only once in a while my husband came to visit me, and because I was forced to work while being chained, I had problem with my back, and later on I was asked to make some ropes, and every couple of days we were taken. Rather, they came to pick up what we produced, and people were taken on the trucks to be killed along the road to Krati province. And in the evening, the truck would return. One day, they had me sit up and watch them beating a child aged about 8. They had caught a child who was found picking up fruits to eat because he was hungry. He was hung upside down by the female guards. He was badly mistreated. It was very brutal. They did it to warn him to stop picking up fruits. They forced my group and the child's mother to watch the child being hung until blood came out from his eyes when they stopped torturing him. The child was then released and became conscious a while later. The child's father was being held in a wooden Phnom Kraul prison with thatched roof, walls, and wooden floors above the ground. And for the same civil party, I refer to another document of hers, that is E3/7700, and the EN in Khmer is at 00236695 through 97. English is at 00239532 through to 33, and French is at 002677 07 to 08, and allow me to quote the following. In 1975, I was a female combatant in a division which was commanded by Ta Ho and Ta Nhat. We attacked and entered Phnom Penh. In the same year, I was called to board a boat headed for Krati province. At that time, I became a female combatant in the division commanded by Ta Chen and Ta Soi in Mandulkiri province. After the arrest of Chen and Soy, I was transferred to be a female combatant in Office K11, Sector 105, located in Gorgne, which was under the control of Ta Sophia. After staying there for about a year, working the rice field and building dams in the production unit, I was arrested and imprisoned in the same Office K11. One day at that prison, other women prisoners and I, in shackles, saw an 8-year-old son of a female prisoner being hanged upside down by female guards. They forced us and the child's mother to watch their action. And for the next civil party, who spoke about her experience and event at the S21 Security Center, and her name is Kung Te. But Kung Te is deceased now, and she lost her husband, Saint Chia, who was executed at the Tulslang prison. She learned of that information from Saint Hon, her nephew. And in her civil party application, that is E3/5887, at the Khmer EN 00211452, English is at 00234051, and French is at 0028 5241. She states the following, and I quote: in 1978, the Southwest cadres entered the area and took control of the village and replaced the leadership in the village. They were all new people and they spoke with accent. People who worked in the commune were called to a meeting in Romihai office district, including my husband, Said Chia. I only knew that he went for a meeting at the district office and I did not know where he went further. However, when I went to work, I met with Said Hon, who works in Bavat area near the border, who is my nephew, and told me that whether I knew that my husband had been arrested and thrown into a truck and taken away. And Seichi also is on the list of prisoners of the OCIJ at number 10431. And the next civil party that I'd like to speak about is Madame Claude Yao. She lost her husband, who was taken and killed at the Tulslang S21 prison. Initially, she and her husband lived in Kotom district and was transferred to work in Kampot. Her husband was transferred first, and he built a textile instrument. Later on, her husband disappeared and she makes the following statement in her civil party application, and the document is E3/6353 at the Khmer EN 0053 54 52, and there is no English translation, although a request has been made. And the French EN is at 01298058, and allow me to quote the following. In October 1976, my term due and I had to deliver my baby. My husband went to work as usual. My baby died about a fortnight after my delivery due to the lack of breast milk. And one day while I was hospitalized, I never saw my husband coming to visit me, and only my young children came to bring me food. And I was wondering where they took him to, because I had seen other husbands of other women disappeared. And a few days after the husbands disappeared, the wives would be taken away. When workers returned, I asked them about my husband, and I told them to tell me the truth, where my husband had been true, but nobody told me anything. They only said that my husband was called to make this textile tool, or kai. And I asked my child, who was about 8 years old, who told me that he saw two Khmer Rouge with guns who came to walk my husband away, and he disappeared since. In 2004, I received a letter from the Documentation Center of Cambodia, upon which I realized that my husband was arrested on the 26th of October 1976, and he was detained at the Tuts Lai prison, which belongs to Dutch, and he of course was killed there. Her husband's name, that is Prumit, appears on the OCIJ's prisoners list. (6015), which mentions that he entered S21 on the 26th of October 76 and was smashed on 16 January 77. Document E3/6355 at EN 0053 5657 in Khmer, and in French is at 0129806061, is a biography of a prisoner that is the husband of the civil party. And her husband's name is Prumit, and Mr. President, with your permission, I'd like to display the biography of Prumit on the screen. It is a document from Tuts Lai. President, AV unit personnel, please show that document on the screen.
By microphone.
Council. This is an S21 document showing the name of Prumit, who is the husband of a civil party Claude Yao. He is a victim at S21. Also, in relation to this civil party, there is another document that is E3/9842, which is a list of prisoners who entered S21 in 1976. And Prumit, her husband, was arrested on 26 October 76, and that highlight appeared on page 86. With your permission, I'd like to show that document on screen. That is E3/9842. President, every unit, please show that document on screen. That is document E3/9842. Council, thank you. And the name displayed here is Prumit, who is the husband of the civil party. EN of that document is at 01009961 in the Khmer language, and it is not available in English or French. Another document that on which Prumit's name was mentioned is document E3/3185, and it's at EN 00088514 in Khmer, and in English it's at 0083764041, and French is at 00845907. The document also shows the name of Prumit at the number 154. And in order to save time, I do not wish to display this document on screen. There is also another document that is E3/10090, which is a prisoner's list. And Prumit's name is mentioned at the number 22, says the council, and it is at Khmer EN 01159541. There is no English or French translation. And now I'd like to move on to another civil party whose family members were sent to S21. Her name is Nguyen Ning. She lost her husband in 1977. That is after he was arrested and disappeared since. Her husband's name is Priap Kum Son alias Man, who was arrested from Mandalakiri province and were taken to Phnom Penh on the 8th of March 1977. This is based on document D22/3026C. And in document E3/5014, which is her civil party application, and with the following ERN, she states she made a statement below. The ERN in Khmer is at 00559070, English 01063351, French 00903137. Maybe I made a mistake with the document. Allow me to repeat it. It's D22/3026C. And the EANs that I just provided is part of document E35014, and allow me to quote the relevant excerpt. In 1977, there was a genocidal group which called for my husband to be educated in Phnom Penh. A fortnight later, some new people were moved to live in. This is the information that she learned, that her husband was called to Phnom Penh. And her husband's name also appear in document E3/10604, which is a prisoner list of OCIJ, and her husband's name appear at number 6910. And her husband's name also appear in document E3/10506, which is a list of incoming prisoner on 17 February 1977 through 17 April 1977. At page 39 and at number 19, her husband's name appear, and that is at Khmer EAN 0101 9331, and there is no translation in French or English. And her husband's names appear in this document. And Mr. President, I'd like to have this segment, this portion of the document projected on the screen. President, AV unit, please show the portion of document E3/10506 on screen. In the red box, the name is Priap Kamson alias Man, who is her husband, and he was a soldier from a battalion. In another document, that is E3/9845, which is the list of incoming prisoners in March 1977. Her husband's name, that is Priap Kamson alias Man, was also mentioned, and her husband's name appear at number 319. And Mr. President, I'd like to have this document shown on screen. President, AV unit personnel, please show that document on screen. That is document E3/9845. In the highlighted red box at number 19, says the council, my apology is at 319. The name is Priap Kamson, and it stated that his position is a soldier from a battalion. Now I'd like to move on to another civil party, and the name is Cheng Chun Ieng. He lost his elder sister and her husband. He also lost his younger sister. They were all sent to Tulsai prison. In the civil party application, that is document E3/4740 at Khmer EAN 00484591 9292. English 0086 4149, and French 0095 0262 She made the following statement, and I quote: "My younger brother Jane Kolyang, who joined the Khmer Rouge army in around 1970 in order to stand up against the Lon Nol, the Khmer Republic of Lon Nol, and who is currently living in France, told me that brother Nguyen Eng, alias Tani, and other sister Jane Chun Srein, along with their 5 children, were put on a vehicle and taken away in December 1978. The surviving document at Tours Line stated that Nguyen Eng, alias Ni, who was a deputy chief of office S8, that is the public works, was arrested by Khmer Rouge Angkar and put into Slime prison on 3rd December 78. As for other sister Jane Chun Srein, who was chief of a warehouse of the Ministry of Public Works, was arrested and sent to Slime prison on 4 December 78. There was no mention of any of the 5 children.
Further down, the document says the younger sister Kalyane, alias Nei, was the Khmer Rouge cadre. She was the head of the General Disease Department, M1. She was arrested by Angkar and sent to Tours Line on 3rd March 1978. I have read the confession which was written by my younger sister, and that confession is dated 17 March 1978. In the same document with EON number E0048 46 20 through 21, that is Khmer Yuan, and English 0086 41 49, and French 0095 02 62 through 63. This is the biography of a detainee, Nguyen Eng. My apology, I am now looking for the EON and identity number of that document. In fact, this is the document which I have already quoted, E3/4740. This is the biography of Nguyen Eng. This person, Nguyen Eng, was detained at Tours Line S21. Mr. President, I would like to seek your permission to display the biography of Mr. Nguyen Eng, document E3/4740. Every unit, please display the document E3/4740 on the screen, said the President.
បាទសូមអរគុណនៅក្នុងលេខ1មានបញ្ជាក់ថាឈ្មោះដើមងួនអេងឈ្មោះប្រែនី
In this document, point number 1, the original name is Nguyen Eng and the alias name is Ni. Age 51, male, nationality Khmer. And Jane Chun Singh is also a detainee at S21 who is related to the above mentioned individual, and I would like to display this document as well, Mr. President. President, AV unit, please display it on the screen. Lawyer, thank you. In this current document, number 1, the original name, Jane Chun Singh. This individual is the elder sister of the civil party, and her alias name is Nun, age of 42 years old, female, nationality Khmer. This is the biography of her from S21. Thank you. I would like to emphasize as well that Jane Chun Eng was also detained at S21, and the document I am referring to is A3/10/604. This person appears at the serial number 753 in the list of prisoners from S21. Mr. President, I am now moving to the 7th civil party. And this civil party has relatives who were sent to S21. One was Mao Chun. This civil party lost one elder brother, Mao Eng Chun, rather Mao Chai Kien, alias Mao Chun. And this document is, the document number is A3/6263. And we have only Eon in Khmer, that is 00529043. And I am quoting it now. From the time that my brother Mao Chai Kien married in 1976, I had never received any news from him. I received his news only after 1979, after the liberation by Vietnamese. I met his friend who used to work with him, and his friend's name was Ok. He is currently living in, I do not know where he is living now. I asked him about the whereabouts of my brother. My mother asked about the whereabouts of my elder brother, and we have no news from him. Oak said that he saw my elder brother 2 months before the liberation. Later on, I went to the documentation center of Cambodia to obtain the brief biography at Tours Line, and later on I learned that he was kept at S21 and later on was smashed. And his name appears in the list of the OCIJ, serial number 9291. In the same document, E3/6263, there are There is a biography of a detainee, Mau Chai Kien alias Chun, the elder brother of the civil party. His elder brother was detained at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on 7 April. Mr. President, I would like to display the same document, that is E3/6263, with eon in Khmer 00529063. May you please instruct the AV unit to display the document, Mr. President. President, AV unit, please display it on the screen. Lawyer. Point number 1, it is the original name of Mau Chai Kien and the alias name Chun. And this Mau Chai Kien was related to Mau Chai Kien. Thank you. This individual, Mau Kien alias Chun, appears in the document A3/9905. This document is the list of prisoners who entered S21 in February, between February and June 1978. Among all the names, there was the name Mau Kien alias Chun, age 31. He was chief from the civil aviation, and he was brought into S21 on 6 April 1978. And I would like, Mr. President, to seek your permission, Mr. President, to show document with ER number 0101-1313 on the screen. President, AV unit, please display it on the screen. President, counsel, please activate your microphone before you speak. Lawyer, my apology, Mr. President. At number 15 appears the name 14 rather, appears the name Mau Kien, alias Chun, age 31, and he was the chief of civil aviation. Another document, Mr. President, is E3/10361, the list of prisoners who entered S21 at 7 April 1978, and in that list appears the name of Mau Chai Kien, that is the elder brother of the civil party Mau Ain Chun. And I'm done, Mr. President. President, thank you very much, lawyer. It is now time for the